rook takes b7 is a possibility. Where white wins the, rook takes b7, white wins a pawn like this. It's an illegal move, knight e3. It's an illegal move. That's incredible. What has happened? What has happened?
Carlsen lost in this.
That's a piece, but at least the bishop on h6 stops c1. 13 seconds left for Fabi.
Threatening f4, big threat. Alert.
Nice one. Rook a1. Now he can make a queen, but so many pawns are leaving the board.
Oh, he waited. Oh, he pressed the clock.
Yes. He did the Rex Sinkfield blunder.
Oh, no.
He promoted his pawn without
his pawn without trading for a queen.
Right. He didn't put the queen on the board. He pressed his clock before promoting his pawn. It's an instant loss. It happened to me in Berlin. It's an instant loss.
What happened to you? You lost or you won?
I lost.
What happened?
I don't know.
We gotta see if that is exactly what happened. I don't know if we can pull up the instant replay.
They might need to find the instant replay.
What is happening right now? It looked like.
It seems like Tony is explaining that it didn't.
Wait a minute. He's saying it did not.
Because he didn't press his clock.
But I thought he had pressed his clock. It looked like his clock was up.
Well, we have video.
But they are continuing the game as if.
It looks like they're adding time.
Why is it that it's not an instant loss?
I don't know.
This is bizarre.
Will have to come. I see 000s.
They're
on the
resetting the clock somehow.
Okay.
But I don't understand. If you do this, it's supposed to be. If you're playing along FIDE rules, maybe they're not playing FIDE rules.
I'm sure they are playing FIDE rules.
Because it doesn't look like Nakamura is objecting.
Maybe an incorrect claim. Maybe Fabi didn't press the clock and then he's getting time for an incorrect claim. That might be why they're adding time.
But then we can go for a video replay, which we will.
It looked like the clock was up. Anyway, the game is continuing.
The game is continuing,
and Nakamura does not look happy.
I think they're adding time to Fabi's clock. That's the only explanation that makes sense.
So Fabi's clock?
Well, if Naka made an incorrect claim, wouldn't that be the only way that it would make sense to get
seconds, 13 seconds. The game is
here we go. The game continues, and now the D pawn will.
H6.
Taking that pawn.
And rook to D3. Gary defending like a beast. What's the threat? This move threatens rook H1.
Or bishop.
Rook H1's a threat. Rook H1's a threat.
Okay, rook B8.
And
how do you stop rook H1?
Rook G3. Rook G3. Ooh, rook G3 queen.
Okay, so bishop F4, preparing to bring the bishop back, and now he's had to leave the B8 square. He's had to leave the B8 square.
No,
he didn't take. He didn't queen. He hit the clock.
He hit the clock.
One illegal move is not a forfeit anymore.
No, it's not a forfeit.
It's a penalty.
It's a penalty. It's a time penalty.
Well, I think they're going to get the arbiter to come over.
The arbiter won't matter at all because he'll just get a warning, and I think Gary.
It's funny because a few years ago the rule was much more draconian.
Oh my goodness!
That you actually just forfeited if you put the pawn on the 8th rank without declaring a queen.
It wasn't a few years ago, was it? Wasn't that rule just changed?
Of course, Carlsen didn't let me make this move. He has two possibilities to play bishop d2 or to play rook e3. What he did, queen c5, again threatening to take the pawn on c2. And now we have both 10 seconds, rook c1, rook a to b8, h4, rook b4, f6. I played g6. I could have taken on f6 instead, but it's difficult to understand what's going on with 5 seconds on the clock. c4, rook e to b8, bishop takes h6, rook takes b3, and now I'm even better. Rook c2, e1, rook b2, and you see that Magnus took the e3 rook first and tried to protect the queen on f2 by playing rook 3 to e2, but while moving the rook e3 to e2, he noticed that in that case I will just take the queen on f2, and after rook takes f2 I will win the rook by playing rook takes f2. That's why he tried to change his mind by playing rook 1 to e2, which obviously is not allowed by the rules of chess, and I told him that, and by leaving the board he showed me that he resigned.
From that side.
Well, why not? Oh, he touched the king.
Touched the king.
He touched the king. He touched the king. He needs to move it even. Oi.
Yeah, that is. He said he touched the king. Yeah, now
he touched the king and he said Juduk or something.
Yeah, now there is something. Yeah?
Well, that's. Well, he touched the king. He said,
all of a sudden, what a chance for a Ronin.
Yeah, but it's not a chance. It's winning.
It's like, okay, the Ronin rises from the board and he's smiling, and that's why the arbiter was present.
Well, smiling about this. I mean, very. You cannot do like this. I mean, you.
I don't know if
you
he
cannot.
Said Juduk,
well, I doubt it. He clearly touched the king. And
no. I mean, I just don't know what he was.
You cannot say I adjust after you touch the piece, right? So it's a little bit.
So king f6 now, and there. This is bad, right? Rook to b8. Yeah, and in blitz, you know, you don't want to take on c6. You prefer knights over bishops, that's I'm sure. No, he takes because it was a blunder. Now on king c6, there is bishop d5 check. King b6. It's not that tricky. Rook takes b7 is a possibility. Where white wins the, rook takes b7. White wins a pawn like this. It's an illegal move, knight e3. It's an illegal move. That's incredible. What has happened? What has happened?
Carlsen lost in this case.
I'm not sure.
It's really, illegal.
Kiev played an illegal move.
Carlsen should stop the clock. If he plays another move, that means it's illegal.
Really?
Yeah, he lost.
Really? So Kiev won the game like this, you mean?
Yes, I think.
That's incredible.
Oh my God.
That's really incredible.
Yes.
I mean, this is. But how is it possible? I mean, you make an illegal move and you win. You make an
illegal move. Yeah. I'm not sure in this case.
Something with rules of chess. I'm sorry for that, but really the commission who makes those rules, I mean, they have to work out on this one, because you are not supposed to win a game by making illegal moves.
Yeah.
I think this is not the position. Now we have the right position. 96. At least we are able
check.
to.
King. What? And the king went under the.
This is the so-called illegal move. But illegal move doesn't lose it anymore. Now let's find out.
Yeah, illegal
Let's
move.
find out what's happening.
I told you there will be some drama, right? So basically, they're both asking for an arbiter because I believe Chinese player believes that she's supposed to win the game immediately, but indeed the rules were changed recently, and now it's no longer.
Yeah, she should get some
rapid,
extra time, no? I guess she should get extra time.
She'll get an addition of couple of minutes, which probably will not affect the game that much at this stage.
But usually setting the clock takes time, yeah?
Setting the clock takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish the position would be, you know, a little bit
more
less
dynamic,
one-sided. Yeah,
exactly.
A little bit less one-sided because, honestly, I mean, I don't believe Gulina did it on purpose, but there is a way you could do it on purpose if you feel like I really desperately need time to calculate. So I make an illegal move. My opponent is claiming illegal move. He will get some extra minutes, but this gives me time to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a nice way to do it, but who knows? Okay.
No, I mean, from her face expression, it was clear that
it was clear she was surprised.
Yeah.
She was
shocked herself.
So first attempt didn't really work. You can see arbiter resetting the clock. So that's, I mean, that would be a fine, funny episode, if not for the fact that it's actually on board one between two leaders.
Yeah.
So King B5. King B5.